What's going on, everybody? LK here. Recently, we've been talking a little bit more about matchups, and every once in a while, I'll talk to like chip players. We'll talk about it on stream. And one thing that chip players get really mad about is that I don't think Baiken's like super terrible for him. I think it's like a 6-4 in her favor, so definitively an advantage matchup. But they're like, dude, this is terrible. This is like, I've heard as bad as 8-2. Most people tell me it's 7-3. I've heard as bad as 8-2. Okay. So I want to actually show you an example of an 8-2 matchup today. And then let's think about, do these matchups even exist in Strive or modern fighting games at all? So everyone, we are traveling back in time. This is Super Turbo. This, as you can see, the match is kind of old. It's from 2010. But this one was going around on Twitter recently, so I decided to use this one. And I've used it in a video recently as well. This is Old Sagat versus Cammy in Super Turbo. And this match is considered pretty bad. From asking around, most people have said this is like an 8-2. So Cammy literally can't do anything. She has a special move that goes through projectiles, but it takes too long to recover. So basically, every time she tries to approach, she gets swept or DP'd. This game doesn't let you land and block too. So you saw before, Sagat hit with the sweep. The one time she dared to approach, she got hit immediately. Right, so the neutral plan pretty simple. Stay pretty far, use your low tiger shots, react to anything that comes with a button. So she's just jumping. The thing is, he has multiple speeds for the fireballs too, so he can alter the timing on command. Basically, she can't really do anything about it. So here are round 2. He gets a good start. This is a pretty bad spot. It seems that the only place she can really do anything is at the start of the round, and that's the round, by the way, because he killed her immediately. I believe stun is random in this game. So she tried, he pulls up, quick low combo, boom. So this is considered a terrible matchup, right? You might remember that before season 2 came out, I actually asked one player of each character to just give me their matchup chart, and there were actually a few 7-3s on there. One of the notable ones, for example, was Happy Chaos versus Nagoriyuki before the patch. So let us teleport back in time to season 1, the previous season. So this was like the October patch, right? So this is before Happy Chaos got the nerf to zoning. So if you don't know, in season 2, one of the major changes that HC got was that the further away you are, the more concentration you use. So this was to encourage more offense. They also buffed a bunch of the characters' offensive tools and mix-ups, which is of course spooks for us today. But the main thing that everyone was complaining about was how strong the defensive play was from the character. Wall broken here. We're gonna set up and just go for the checkmate. That's the first round. Of course, I grabbed this from Game Storage channel. Shoutouts to them. So of course, for their purposes, they're trying to pick the most exciting matches, right? So the main thing is that Nago, and this applies to this season too, that Nago's best chance is to win at the start of the round. So Nago won the round start, Hotashi clean. Okay, a lot of these like defensive matches are kind of decided by the beginning of the round, because once a character gets away like this, it can be kind of bad news bears. Baits the burst. This is really sad for our homie Hotashi. Combo drop though, but it doesn't matter. Okay. And gonna break with the super, and again basically gonna be put in a checkmate. At this point too, since the burst got baited, I mean there's a bunch of ways Umisho could win. You could choose to peel off, which they do. 1 2 3, boom, got a little bit more. Watashi can't really do anything. Using the super to bring Nagoriyuki down with some chip damage. Oh, one chance, trying to force their way in, but nothing to it. Let's look at one more game for variance. Hopefully they don't do the typical picking ones where specific people win. And strong start from Umisho. Again, Nago just can't really, because Nago didn't win the round start. Now they have to deal with all this like resource cycling, a quick end to the round. No, didn't believe in the super. Nago can rob here. No resource here. The beginning was basically perfectly played by Umisho, and the close. Pretty strong round. I would say that round really shows what a round will look like if Happy Chaos manages to get away at the beginning. Watashi peeling up though, in a good range, using Far Slash. Remember, burst hit higher, moved higher in this version too, so it's a lot scarier to burst Happy Chaos here too. And if you burst Happy Chaos wrong, you die. Okay, lots of resource on Umisho's side. Watashi with the mesh, drop combo. Uh-oh. 1, 2. It looked like it was a gamble there. 1, 2. Holding it. Okay, Hotashi getting to play game. Air throw. Oh, reading the burst. This is basically burst safe for game. Yes. So this matchup was usually, I heard, 6.5 or 7-3 in Happy Chaos's favor, right? So you have the neutral control, cycling resources. Again, like if you're looking at the concentration meter, especially, you can see it's like barely going down as opposed to now where like they can't really zone like this until they get concentration in the first place. So the only real chance that Hotashi has is getting in at the beginning of the round where both of them are essentially neutral. And of course, as we all know, Nago has good round starts. So looking at this, of course, there's just a couple examples, but one problem I've kind of had in like modern fighting game discourse is how hyperbolic people are about talking about matchups and characters. Most of the time we talk about characters, especially because I really started feeling this in like Dragon Ball FighterZ, so the focus was on characters a lot. It's really hard to determine matchups in a team game like that, especially once they opened it up by having 3 assists for all the characters. But in a 1v1 game, I feel like it's a little bit easier to place, and when you start going to like 7-3, 8-2 territory, that's like a character can just do like one thing and barely has to adjust to what people do. 8-2 is like essentially if the two players are the same skill, one is winning 80% of the time, right? So like my issue of how some people talk about matchups, like for Chip, for example, I'm like, okay, Baiken beats Chip. I can feel it. Baiken beats Chip. But I'm not literally sitting there just doing one thing and winning the game. Like there's many interactions that can happen. There's ways that Chip can play around certain things and Baiken needs to counter them. I clearly feel the advantage, but I don't feel like I'm so advantaged that I could just literally do whatever I want and just win the game with no thought, right? I mean, when you go into 8-2 territory, that's what we're talking about. When we're looking at this match here, which is an actual 8-2, Cammy can't do anything. My homie is trying to pull up, but he's wrong every time. Every time he tries to move in, he just gets hit away. Then fireball, fireball, fireball. She can't build any meter, and she's just jumping, and she can't like really do anything. And Sagat can, at his own convenience, change the timing of his fireballs to hit the timing of the jump. There's like nothing, like quite literally nothing the character can do. So I just wanted to say that like when we're talking about matchups, I think people need to be a little bit more prudent, if that's the right word. Or I mean, again, at the least, less hyperbolic on how they talk about these things. Another one is Geo too. Like a lot of Geo players told me that Baiken destroys Geo for free, and when I play it, I'm like, dude, this is not free at all. Unless there's some magic thing that I don't know, this is not free at all. On the other hand, though, I've talked with like higher level Geo players, and they're like, oh yeah, like this feels pretty even, or like slight Baiken favor, and like that sounds like it makes way more sense than it being like a super wash like 6.5, 7-3. Those, like when you use numbers to define matchups like that, those are reserved for things where like people literally can't do stuff. This game actually did have some 7-3s on release. I mean, Happy Chaos contributed a lot to that, and I feel like people are using the matchup numbers to express how they feel in the moment rather than how they feel the character does against another character. As usual, if you guys have any questions or comments, definitely feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you guys feel like it, and I'll see y'all next time.